Okay, I'm going to do a studio tour for you guys. A couple of people asked me, and I thought, that's actually a nice idea. I'm going to be moving out of the studio in the next couple of months, and I thought it would be nice to document it for myself as well. So this is where I enter the space. This side over here is not actually my space. I'm only from that dividing section on is my studio. However, this stuff is all mine. The moving dollies, the ladder, scaffold, shop vac, step ladder. Okay, let's see what we've got. A little kitchen counter thing. This is where I get into my studio shoes. These are my 2021 shoes. They're still quite pristine. Don't have any markings on them yet. These were my studio shoes that I wore all of 2020. Got all kinds of stuff on them. This here is my crate that I take back and forth from home to the studio. It has color pencils, sketchbooks, I have inks, things that I might want to use if I'm at home and I want to make something, or I'm watching TV or something. Snack bag, very important. I have a bunch of art books, collage material books. I have more books somewhere else. I'll show you that later. I've had this box for like, I don't know, 10 years. Cabinets here. So the armatures that I make for my sculptures have a lot of cardboards to mock up the dimensions and various things on the inside of the structure. Also foam. Here I have my Patreon boxes for your packages. I've got my mural here. Let me back up a little bit. Yes, very nice. I love this mural. A chair to sit and ponder, though I basically never sit down once I'm in here. This mural signature took me a long time to design how to have my stylized Persian name signature along with the name Omniflux and the year. I did so many designs to come up with that configuration. I'm happy with how it came out. Lovely plant here. Okay, so I've got some metal working materials here. Bunch of tools. I laid them out neater than usual for the purposes of this video. Usually it's a little bit more messy. Lots of color samples here. Lots of paper samples here. Scraps, paint scraps. Okay, got some canvases over there. Sculpture. Let's see. Got my incredible guillotine over there. I use this maybe every day in the studio. I found it at an old rebuilding center. It was like $10. Couldn't believe it though. It's pretty crooked. It's out of alignment, which is why I think they sold it to me for so cheap. I'm playing around with a concept here that I will tell you about later. As you know, the 2020 postcards, I framed them all. I think they came out so great. It's satisfying to look at them all in one space. Some paintings here. This card here is kind of my collage making station. I have a lot of papers here, lots of collage making stuff, glue and such. All my tools and scraps of paper are all in this lid. Some color palettes that I'm working with. Let's see. Tapes, markers, pencils, different things. My uncle made me this beautiful box. It's a beautiful woodworker. And let's see, I've got this book just to try some painting ideas out. Some maps for the sculptures that I'm working on with like dimension mapping and things like that. This draft table here, I actually make a lot of my pieces that go in my sketchbooks on that table, especially because it's right under the window, it gets a lot of light. Here, I'm filming this in January, so I'm in the middle of making the January postcards right now. They're not done yet. There's another layer of paint that's going on. White or silver, I'm playing with both. This is kind of a sample. I was trying different pens, different colors, white and silver, to see what works best. I usually do a test. I usually do multiple tests before I embark upon the final look for the postcards. And then, anyway, I do a lot of tests in my sketchbooks as well. Okay, I've got my little dish rack over here for, I don't know, all the various supplies. This is the wood block that I washed after using on your January postcards. This little cart is full of rocks. I stole all these rocks from the beach. I use them a lot. Pretty much every day when I'm working, I usually have to weigh stuff down. So I use those rocks. And my boom box is in there too. The old ghetto blaster. Let's see, I have 2 giant trash cans that have stolen my heart. I love these. Anyway, a bunch of plants. These plants all used to be on my porch, but they were dying in the freezing weather. All the leaves were turning yellow, so I had to rescue them and bring them into the studio. And so usually when I come into the studio, I use this spritzer bottle and spray everything down so that they have a little bit of humidity because they're tropical plants. Okay, here's my pegboard and a bunch of my sculpting tools. These drawers just have, all kinds of different things. Okay, had to cut the video. Somebody came to visit real quick. Where was I? I was at the Pegboard. This paint can key is the very first thing I bought before ever having a studio. I bought this and I thought I'm gonna have a studio one day and I'm gonna have cans of paint that I will be opening. And not long after I bought this, the studio became available. Okay, got a level, got an apron here. Oh yeah, this glorious broom needs to also be mentioned. Yes, what do I have here? Bunch of power tools. A glorious torch. Mixer. Another apron, a jumpsuit. Okay, backing up. Oh yeah, this is that second stack of books I was talking about. Some books I tear up to use for collage making, and some are not to be torn, just to enjoy and look at. Those two big rocks I also stole from the beach, and yeah, got this little setup over here, some tripods, bunch of paint cans, my calendar. I still have my calendar from last year still underneath. I need to take that home. I log studio hours and things. I actually do need to change that paper out, put a new paper up, because this was my brainstorming board for the first sculpture. My second sculpture, I've been doing all the writing down in a notebook that needs to be transferred up to the wall. Okay, and then here I've got, let me back up more. Got my first sculpture. She's very pretty. Right. Yes. Not much to say, is there? Yep, still can't really believe I made that, but I did. Sculpture 2 is happening. I am in the stage where I'm ready to get to welding the internal structure, so I can start working on it as it stands up, like this lady here. You see that welded structure here and the base. I'm going to be building the same thing for this sculpture. Yeah, so I'm going to do a zoomed out version of the studio now. Let's see, start from where we started. So, yes, zoomed out. These doors both roll up, which is really, really incredible. Yep. This is it. This is everything. I hope you enjoyed the show.